Hello, everyone, and I am Alicia, also known as AVP. Tonight we are in for a special treat. We are going to watch the Orville series starting from the pilot episode, and I am joined tonight by some of my friends who I will be bringing on shortly. So in case you guys didn't know that I will be streaming this from YouTube, but when we start the video portion for the watch party, it will go straight to Twitch. So in order to avoid copyright strikes and everything like that with YouTube, we will go to Twitch, but the panel will stay right in place, and then we will also shift back onto YouTube later on after the two projects are finished. We will do a portion where we are talking about the Orville, and then we will stop, take a brief little break, and then we will come back and do Princess Diaries Part 2. If you do not want to stay for that, that's totally okay. If you want to stay, that's totally okay too. So I will bring on my guest one by one. I have joined by me, who is right beside of me. I have Mar, who is also known as, identifies as Long Krell. I also have Jeffrey Turner, also known as Mega Jetty. And I also have Rebel Heart Rose, or Crystal. So thank you three for coming tonight. I appreciate that so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So all of you are Orville fans, I take it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So who is your favorite character of all of the characters?
I can't remember her name exactly because, like I said, it's been a while since I've seen it. But the first, the girl who wore the red uniform, the one who was like Spock with the long ears, the one who.
Okay, Alara.
Yeah, Alara. That's who she was. I like her.
Okay, cool. Crystal?
I guess Ed.
Okay,
And
Mar, who is your favorite?
favorite?
Who is your favorite character of all the characters on Orville? Well, Mar? Okay, he chose to mute himself. Okay, well, my favorite character, I think everybody knows, is Ed. I always say that I look a little bit like Kelly, but basically Ed is my personal favorite.
Okay.
So, Mar, since now you've unmuted yourself, who is your favorite character of all the characters?
Well, Alara and the Blob, which I actually cannot remember the name of.
Can you describe the character? Maybe I will know the name.
Yeah, it's the Blob.
That's Kelly. Kelly is the blonde.
Not the blonde, the Blob.
The Blob. The
Blob.
dude.
Yaffit. That's Yaffit.
Yaffit.
Norm MacDonald. So, like I said, this show, I remember when I first heard about it, it described it as astronauts in space kind of story, and I was like, what? But then when I started watching, I said, this is nothing like what they described it was supposed to be. So it's kind of kooky and crazy to the fact that they would get this so wrong, saying, oh, it's astronauts, but it's hardly astronauts, to say the least. So what got you guys intrigued in watching? Go ahead, Jeffrey.
Well, when I first heard of the Orville, I heard it was like Star Trek Next Gen, but
okay.
Given that it was Seth MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane. It's easy to confuse the two.
Not really.
Their first name is Seth, and there are a couple of comedians.
Yeah,
Dirty comedians, but comedians nonetheless.
One is more vulgar than the other.
True, but which one? But yeah, basically, when I heard that MacFarlane was the guy behind this, this take on Star Trek, I was like, okay, this is definitely going to be Galaxy Quest. And then,
okay.
Basically, I thought basically it was going to be Galaxy Quest, but then a few episodes in into the first season with the whole the thing with the baby with the whole gender stuff, I was like, wow, this is more next generation than I thought. So I think that was deliberate. I think that was McFarlane's intention. He wanted to showcase it as like a spoof, like Galaxy Quest at first, but he really wanted it to be next generation.
He wanted it to stand out on its own too.
Yeah.
And not be compared. But you can tell he's a big Star Trek fan. It definitely shows.
I love the way they call it a dramedy, which is a mix of drama and comedy together. And like Jeffrey was saying, it is like Next Generation, but it's very different from Next Generation too, because we deal with a lot more serious topics like the gender issue. Also with when they were dealing with a future episode where a crew member almost got basically where he gets lobotomized almost, and it's all because of some foolishness that he did, and it could have been prevented. But the thing is, because the way he is, it turned out the way it turned out. So I think it was good to see some drama, but comedy. So I think this is one of the things that makes this stand out from other shows that are out there.
One of the interesting episodes was the episode where the pilot fell for this girl who existed many years prior, and he tried to recreate her in the hologram. And when he tried to get her away from the guy that she would end up with, she ended up not being the same person that he was falling for. So
that's true.
Yeah.
One thing that I think is pretty cool is that Seth MacFarlane keeps bringing all these Star Trek veterans. Like we have like John Billingsley who plays the Doctor. Hello, John. Good to see you, my friend. And John is here as well. I will add him in just 1 second. So basically, I think it's really cool that John Billingsley, if you guys didn't know, he was on the show Enterprise, and he played Dr. Phlox. And it's kind of pretty cool to see him interacting with Robert Picardo, who also played a doctor as well, and then them interacting together on a separate episode.
Well, actually, Seth
Hello,
MacFarlane himself.
how's it going, everyone?
Hey.
Hello
I'm
there.
a little late again. Always late.
That's okay. We haven't got
I'm the late Scotsman. It's the
So,
time zone
Sean, I have
difference.
a question for you. Who is your
Yeah.
favorite character from the Orville series?
Oh, no, that's a tricky one. I've got to go with Seth. Seth, definitely.
Kid.
Oh yeah, the captain.
Yes.
He does nothing wrong. You know, he is comedy gold.
Underdog.
From Family Guy to all the voices he does to Orville, he does it all. He does it perfect. Without him, the show wouldn't be as good.
That's true. That's so true. Like I was explaining, it's a drama mixed with comedy, the way they always call it a dramedy, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah, that's what surprised me. Originally, when it was advertised, we thought, oh, it's going to be a comedy, like a spoof of Star Trek. And then it came out all this drama and stuff like that, and I was like, ooh, this is actually quite good. It's the best of both worlds. So both old Star Trek fans and new ones can both enjoy it. In fact, I actually like this better than the new Star Trek.
So I have a question for all of you. Who was a Star Trek or science fiction fan prior to this?
Me.
Ooh, okay.
I was definitely a Star Trek fan before this.
Somewhere in here, I've got my TNG Enterprise somewhere. A wee toy model somewhere.
Okay, so you guys are already science fiction fans already. That's great. So do you feel like this is better than the stuff you grew up with, or do you think this is on a totally different level altogether?
I think it's just as good as the stuff we grew up with. The original Star Trek, the Roddenberry Star Trek and all that, TNG and DS9 and all that. In fact, this pilot episode kind of reminds me of the first episode of DS9, that he's given a command that he didn't really want, and then he has to decide, does he want to keep it or not? It's very reminiscent. There's a lot of Star Trek themes. There's a lot of nods, a lot of nostalgia, a lot of memories. So I think it's just as good, and it's a lot better than CBS Trek. 10 times better.
Well, in the Orville they have a lot of Star Trek and Star Wars.
Yeah.
So it's actually it combines both of them, and in a pretty good show. I would say Seth MacFarlane. You know that guy. everyone has heard of him.
Oh yeah,
And if he
great guy.
starts something, he brings it to an end, and he brings it to a great end.
Yeah.
And people just like his stuff, for as far as I can say.
I think that's why we love him so much, because he
yeah.
is an actual fan. He is an actual Star Trek fan, so he brings a lot of love, which the CBS writers don't really, they're not really, they didn't grow up with it. They're just brand new. They don't, half of them don't even know the show, but Seth does. Sorry, on you go, mate.
For me, it was. Yeah, we have a new sci-fi show, The Orville, and I was like, oh my god, another sci-fi show. It's made by Seth MacFarlane, and I was like, what? Come again? Seth MacFarlane? Okay, I'll watch it.
What are you doing? They keep trying to tell me Seth MacFarlane and science fiction, they don't mix together. I'm thinking, you haven't seen his Blue Harvest. You haven't seen something Dark Side. You haven't seen It's a Trap.
Yeah.
I mean, he obviously loves science fiction, and this is basically the love story he's given to all of us. And you know what? I love science fiction, and I'm going to share it with all of you so you can love it too. Because I think some people weren't into science fiction, and for them to see this is like, oh, that's science fiction? I never thought of that.
Yeah. Anyone who says they're not sure if it would work, go watch Galaxy Quest. That is very much like Orville. It's like the sci-fi fan fiction. It's perfect. It's great. It's a lot of fun, but also some serious moments as well. That's another great one.
Yeah, because like I said, I mean, I thought the Orville was going to be more comedy, less drama, but I was surprised that it had the equal balance.
Yeah. That was really surprising. I'm actually glad that it's not all comedy, because I think if it was all comedy, I don't think it would have held up as well. What we like so much about it is there is some serious moments. We do get to know the characters. There's a lot of character development. There's some serious political issues, and it's done right. It's very subtle. It's not very in your face. It's written into the story. So that's why we love it so much. Just the it's the perfect balance between the two, which not a lot other shows can do. They can do both, but they often don't get the balance. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, are you guys ready to start our watch party for the Orville pilot episode?
Oh, yes.
In the words of SpongeBob, I'm ready!
Are you ready, Finn?
All right, Captain. So we're going to switch the stream from here to Twitch. I have put the Twitch link into the chat if you guys want to join us over there. That way we don't get any copyrights. We will come back after the movie is over and then come back and start working on Princess Diaries Part 2. So I hope to see you guys over at Twitch.
See you there.
Am I allowed to make a little shout out really quick?
Sure, you can do that real quick.
Oh, super. So if you have computer problems and you look for a solution for free, just go to Geeks Enjoy Nerdrotica and ask LDG. He helps you for free.
He does. He's awesome. Check him out, folks. Check him out. And check out all these people that are on my panel tonight. Check them out because they're all awesome in their own ways.
And ask LDG. He helps you for free. If you have computer problems.
He will. He will definitely help you out. And he doesn't charge you anything. He's awesome. All right, see you guys on Twitch. Because they're all awesome in their own ways.
And ask LDG. He helps you.
He does.